Hey, man.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
I can see your thing moving, but I can't hear you for some reason. Hang on. That's really weird. Why can't I hear you? Oh, I can hear you now. Hang on a sec. Let me just plug my headphones back in.
Check,
Are you
check,
there?
one, check,
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, gotcha. Awesome. Woo.
All right, let me
How you doing?
tweet this.
Yeah, sure. Cool,
Get
man.
a few more people in here.
Sounds good, man.
Also,
Did you have a good sleep?
yeah, I had a good sleep and I woke up early and I had a good workout. Got all that aggression out at the gym.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that later. I'm getting up late today. It's my lazy one. But no, thanks for doing this again. Appreciate it.
Well, look, man, I'm pretty skeptical about there being any point to doing this when
Same.
you come in again without any preparation, and I don't understand how you think you can possibly win without doing. In fact, I feel like you don't have any intention of like discussing the debate topic, and you just want to do this kind of same thing you were doing yesterday, which is sort of having a meta discussion about whether or not I'm playing dirty pool by choosing this topic in the first place.
Well, no, I mean, it's not about the topic itself. And, I mean, I get why you're skeptical for sure. Look, I honestly I guess, yeah, look, the best response I've got to that, honestly, man, is like when it comes to broader points, I can only give you my reasons for thinking what I do. When it comes to the Vosh debate, did you want me to wait or wait until you tweeted or?
No, I've tweeted, but I don't.
Okay, cool.
I don't really want you to go into a diatribe about your broad thoughts on the Vosh debate. What I would like you to start by doing is telling me what the topic is that you've agreed to today.
Well, I mean, I guess we didn't really discuss a topic specifically today, did we?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, not at all. But okay, so it's about, well, if we're talking about whether or not you won or lost that debate, is that what we're talking about?
I can't. This isn't going to last more than like 5 minutes. Please do not send any super chats, you guys, because I'm a hang up on this guy. Listen, I'm gonna read back to you from the comment thread. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Go.
So let me just find it here. The topic is whether or not Vosh was less truthful than me during the debate. That's the topic. And then I said the topic is who was objectively more truthful during the debate, me or Vosh. And you agreed to that. So I don't understand why you're here saying that there's no topic agreed to.
Well, what I actually said to that, I said things to that, but I can't be bothered. Let's just do that then. Let's go with that. So who was more objectively truthful? And I think yesterday we got as far as you saying something about, because you were talking about FBI stats.
Yeah, but hang on. There's a problem here.
Okay.
What do I call you?
Like I said yesterday, you can call me Jono if you like.
Okay, I honestly didn't hear that. Jono, there's a problem.
Actually,
here.
I wanted to say as well, just I did want to apologize for the mic thing. Yeah, my mic did drop out, and that was on me, and I accused you of lying, and that was wrong. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie about that, man.
Okay, cool.
So listen, the problem is you've agreed to this debate topic. So my next question to you is how do you think you can win the debate when you haven't prepared any arguments in regards to false statements that I've made?
Because, well, like I say, my understanding was the topic was who won that debate. Now, the truth will, there'll be points at which you're probably correct for sure in hindsight. But when it comes to winning a debate, and I tried to make this point yesterday,
when
it comes to winning, on the day you didn't make.
Oh my fucking God! My fucking God.
Look, I'm sorry this is hard for you, mate. I'm sorry this is hard, but look, on the day you debated Vosh, right? You remember that, obviously. On the day, did you make the points that you want to make now? And you said you didn't. So to me, that kind of means that you lost that debate.
Well, so that's an irrelevant opinion that I don't care
No, it's
about.
not. Well, it's an irrelevant
Listen,
opinion.
no. Listen, guy.
Yeah, I'm
Guy, guy,
listening.
guy,
I'm
guy.
listening. Go.
You agreed to the topic. I just read to you verbatim from the thread of what you agreed to. Now, do you agree to that topic? Yes or no?
What I said to you then, and I'm saying to you now, that I'm happy to talk to you about whether or not you lost that debate.
That's not the topic.
Do I have to go to? Do I have to go? I have to bring up the comment thread, don't I? I have to bring up the comment thread.
So look, no, I just read to you the topic you agreed to. Also, here's the reason.
You said that I agreed to
the
it.
reason I don't listen to me, dude. The reason I don't want to have a fucking subjective like argument about who you think won is because I said this in the comment thread too. I'm not interested in arguing our opinions. I'm interested in arguing empirical facts. That's the only thing I'm interested in talking to you about. If you don't want to have that conversation, then we can just call it a day.
I love empirical facts, man. But when it comes to, empirical facts about a certain topic, again, I can only talk about facts that I know about.
Right. But so if you don't know about the facts that Vosh and I discussed, it begs the question, why would you come and tell me that I got destroyed if you don't even know about the facts that we were discussing?
Like I said, you got destroyed in that debate because you didn't have the arguments on the day.
But how can you make that assertion when you don't know what the fuck we were talking about? As you admit yourself, you don't have the facts. How can you be a critical judge of something if you don't have the facts to make the assessment?
Look, if you want to win a debate, right? When he makes a point, then you have to bring up your point, like your counterpoint. And you said yesterday that you didn't do that on the day, but that's not your fault.
I didn't. No. I didn't say I didn't do it. I said that that's not necessary. I didn't say that I specifically didn't do it.
It's not necessary to give you a counterpoint in a debate.
No, I can give you an example. Listen, I can give you an example. Okay. I'm gonna give you an example.
Please.
When Vosh said that he had FBI stats that would show that there was X number of white nationalist attacks, I asked him to show me the stats. Right. So that's me countering because I know that those stats don't exist. So I said, show it to me. And then he said he couldn't. After he said he couldn't, he went on a little tirade where he said that he was actually referring to statistics about gun violence. So, and this is the part that I didn't respond to or refute. So let me explain this to you.
Yeah, sure. Can we listen to it? Yeah,
hold on. Yeah, we can listen to it, but let me finish.
Please.
Let me finish explaining this to you. We can definitely listen to it after.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. The reason I didn't respond or refute to the fact that he was talking about gun stats, because there is FBI statistics about gun stats, but the idea that you can derive meaningful conclusions about white nationalism from looking at the gun violence stats is so profoundly absurd that, from my perspective, anyone who is persuaded by that argument is beyond help. I'm not even going to waste my time addressing it because it's so fucking stupid. You understand? That's why you don't have to refute everything, because there's a certain level of bullshit where you just say anybody who's buying this deserves to go through life ignorant and stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm keen to hear this now because someone sent me something yesterday and it jogged my memory. Because my recollection, because that was right at the start of this debate, wasn't it? And my recollection was that I thought it was something along the lines, and tell me if I'm wrong, please, that it was something along the lines of basically Vosh saying that these crimes have been collated by the FBI, but then the data has been analyzed by groups like the ADL.
No, he said that the ADL have big fancy pants numbers, but that the FBI, and I specifically asked him what he was talking about. The reason I asked him is because he said that the number was like 53, and that's such an inflated number that I thought, 53 attacks. Yeah. And so I thought he must be talking about the ADL numbers, because their numbers are really inflated because they don't do ideologically motivated attacks. They do ideologically tangential attacks, basically.
Right. So, yeah. So that's what it kind of comes down to. You don't accept the ADL's
No. Vosh claimed that the FBI had these stats. The ADL do have stats, but their stats are bullshit. That's a different topic.
Okay.
The
Right.
false claim is that the FBI gives you these stats.
Okay. All right. So I just got.
Let's play it. Let's listen to it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's listen to it. Sure. Go.
Hold on one sec. I got to put this in Chrome. And now I have to get the timestamp.
Yeah, cool. Take your time, man. No problem.
All right. Listen carefully.
Yeah, please.
Super narrowly, like in their manifesto, they had to specifically say that every bullet was being fired with the intention of establishing an all-white ethno-state.
More or less. Which were the other ones besides El?
I mean, speaking of FBI statistics, do you want to like go over all of the far right, like terrorist attacks that we've been experiencing in America the past couple of years? Because it'd be like a super boring stream, because I'd be like, oh, actually there were like 53 the past year, let's go over each one, and then we can go over each one and you'll be like, well, that manifesto didn't specifically mention the Jews, it can't be a far right, and we can go one by one. It'd be pretty boring, but we could do it, or we could move on if you'd like to.
Do you mean the FBI or the ADL?
I'm sorry, the FBI or the ADL? I didn't, you cut out, what did you say?
When you're talking about these far-right terror attacks, are you going by FBI stats or ADL stats?
The ADL is the one that collaborates, like, I think the big fancy pants numbers, but the FBI also tracks this shit. Is the ADL is the ADL being a member of a certain...
Okay, so are you satisfied that he is claiming that there's FBI stats we can look at? Yes or no?
When it comes to like far-right shootings?
Yes.
Like that then sounded to me like he was saying that the ADL was the one track, like that the ADL was like I think what I said before is right there, that the ADL is analyzing FBI stats.
Okay,
but
hold on. No, let me play let me play a little bit more. Let me play a little bit more where I ask him to pull up the FBI stats and he pivots, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gonna be this kind of weaselly where you're trying to like retcon what he said,
come on,
that was a sec.
That was disingenuous.
Hold on a sec.
Religious group? Is it too suspicious for you not to be trusted?
Oh shit, he's on to me. Oh shit.
Oh shit, do you mean oh boy, oy vey? Is that what you mean to say?
Shut it down. Pull up the FBI far right attack stats. You got me intrigued now. Pull those up.
Which one?
The one you just said you wanted to go through.
I specifically said I didn't want to go through them because they're really dumb.
Well, you said we could. You said we could.
Yeah, what's the point you're going to make here? Do you want to like go over each one?
I'd like to just start with a number. Can you do that?
Which number?
The number of white nationalist attacks. For whatever year is available from the FBI.
From the FBI. I don't know if the FBI tracks them specifically by like far right.
Because you just said that they did. He not just say that the FBI tracks them? He literally, like, those were his exact words. The FBI tracks them as well. Now I'm going to play it again and watch. This is
no. I'm not
going to play it again. I'm going to play more because this is the part where he pivots to gun violence.
Dude, okay, sure.
No, they categorize gun violence. This is the weakest gotcha I've ever. Holy, was that a draft from the window? Is that what a gotcha from you feels like? They track gun violence. The FBI does that. The ADL was the one who compiled statistics containing parameters.
So what?
So I think
what does the FBI stats on gun violence have to do with white nationalism?
Well, I think what I said at the start was correct, then, that the FBI compiles stats on gun violence, and the ADL is analyzing the motivations.
So, what are the meaningful statistics that we can derive about white nationalism from looking at the FBI gun violence statistics?
Well, you need to analyze that data, as a group like the ADL does. Obviously, like you get raw numbers and then you look at them. That's kind of. I'm sorry, that sounded way too more disingenuous than it sounded in my head.
The ADL doesn't. So let me stop you right there. The ADL doesn't use the FBI gun violence stats to compile their reports because how could they possibly get anything useful out of the FBI gun violence stats? The ADL uses media reports to do their yearly.
I mean, I can take your word for that. Yeah, I mean, if the ADL is using media reports to tabulate its data, then fine. Like that's a better citation for the point. I mean, I feel like this is pretty highly specific. I mean, like I said, I don't. Again,
it's pedantic. It is a little bit pedantic, but that's what happens when you want to get to the absolute truth of something. You have to be pedantic. The question is about objective truth.
I'm not sure that's true. Like, I mean, I feel like there's a reason why a word like pedantic has negative connotations to it, because you are kind of focusing on the trees and ignoring the forest. Like,
why? So here okay, explain this question to me. Explain this question or answer this question. Why did Vosh mention the FBI?
You'd have to ask Vosh. I don't know. I'm not in his head.
Well, so you don't think that he was claiming in that discussion that there was FBI statistics? This is like your final answer on it, huh? Because we can just move on to the next thing.
Well, I mean, I've given you my answer to that. Like it sounded to me like he was claiming FBI. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, that the FBI statistics are tracking gun violence. The ADL, he was saying that the ADL analyzes that data and tracks that. I guess you're saying that it's media reports. I don't know. Maybe the FBI.
So I'll just read you back one of the quotes that I transcribed.
Sure.
Okay. Speaking of FBI statistics, do you want to go over all the far-right terrorist attacks that we've been experiencing?
Yeah. And I think, and Vosh's point to that was that would take a long time. And
what do you mean? What would we be going over in that scenario?
Hey, I'd say that again. Sorry, I think I know what you're saying now. Yes. Sorry, say that again.
Speaking of FBI statistics, do you want to go over all the far-right terrorist attacks that we've been experiencing?
Okay. So what you're saying there is because there's no FBI data on terrorist attacks specifically. And so obviously, again, Vosh is saying, well, look, we can go over each individual case and decide whether that's a terrorist attack or a right-wing hate crime or what. And that's pointless. And that's what he's saying there, obviously. But yeah, I mean, like, fun little gotcha, it's not a terrorist stat specifically. I don't think this really, like, the important point to me, though, is whether or not right-wing violence is a problem. Like, I feel like this, pedantic's the word. I mean, I'll use that since you brought it up. Like, what can I say? And when it comes to something that, a broader point and whether or not you won or lost that debate, I don't think that actually...
right. But so just to be clear, you agree that it's objectively false to claim that the FBI has statistics on terror attacks that we can derive meaningful conclusions about what...
I don't know much about FBI statistics. I'm more than happy to defer to your learned opinion on that.
Okay, so... Listen, man, you've come to a debate where the topic is who made more false statements. And you don't have any arguments about me making false statements. And you've just conceded on the first one. So the debate is over and you've lost objectively and empirically.
If you say so. Sure.
Well, how is that wrong?
How is that wrong? I've given
you how can you possibly win if you've already conceded 1 point and you don't have any points of your own to raise? That's what I want to know.
I might have some. I guess we'll just have to get to the end and see.
Well, no. Why don't you go ahead and tell me something I said that was objectively false?
In that debate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the topic that you agreed to.
Sure. If you say so. Okay, so
I say so.
Cool. Hey, I do remember in that you saying something about basically sex being like male chromosomes being like basically sex being a binary. Was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, so in your mind, there's XX chromosomes, which is female, and X male rather, and XY chromosomes, which is male, and that's it.
No, obviously there are
Okay.
different combinations of chromosomes that people have, but
Okay.
the point is that whether or not you are male is determined by the presence of a Y chromosome.
Right. So,
Although I don't really believe that anymore because that's like a univariate fallacy I've since learned, but it's
Yeah.
technically true. Scientifically speaking, that is the scientific requirement to be classified as male. So it's not false. It's
right,
just
but your claim.
little bit
Oh, okay.
simplistic.
So that seems okay. So, but your claim that sex is a binary then is like that was your claim, right? Sex is a binary.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where do intersex people fit then?
Intersex people are like effectively defective.
Right, and
They're
but
like
they
mutations.
don't. But they don't fit into the binary, then, do they? Hello.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
doesn't
Sorry, I thought
matter.
we had-
Like
I thought we were
that's
having
still
sex. It doesn't matter.
humans.
Okay.
Humans have two sexes, right? So just in the same way that humans have two arms. Do you agree that humans have two arms,
Well,
like
there
as
are
part of
those-
the definition?
But there are those people that don't have two arms.
Right, but so sometimes people get their arm chopped off or they're born with like a genetic defect or whatever, but that doesn't change the definition of what a human is.
Yeah, it does, because I mean, you're calling them people. They're still humans just because they don't have two arms.
Exactly. They're humans who have been like altered through environmental accidents.
But they're still humans.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
This makes my point. Like, if you're saying sex is a binary, then everyone has to fall into one of two categories, and there are people that don't.
Yeah, look, if you want to say that intersex people are like a third sex, that's fine.
I didn't say it's a third sex, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're happy with that language, I mean, it's not the language I would use, but if you want to use a third sex, well, then yeah, so that would be an objectively incorrect point on your part because not everyone fits into the binary.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that one just because I
Cool.
don't even want to argue it.
Okay, cool, charitable, nice.
You got one. Good job.
I did. Yay, go me. All right, what else you got?
All right. So his second claim is at 32 minutes. His second false claim is at 32 minutes into the conversation where he says that police and prosecutors are not the ones who make a statement on the political motivation of someone. And then he says that the police would never ascribe mental illness to someone who committed a shooting, for example.
Okay. Sorry, I'm assuming you're going to play a clip.
I can. I mean, do you think I'm misrepresenting what he said?
No, not necessarily. No.
Right. So the claim is that the police don't make a statements on political motivations of like mass killers. Now, does that sound as retarded to you as it does to me? Does that sound as just like obvious?
Arsler. Sorry, I got a thing. Every time you drop an Arsler, I've got to have a shot. That's my drinking game. 1 second.
Go for it, retard.
Oh, god damn, a double? Shit. All right. Oh, crap. Today I'm drinking Jameson. Okay. Okay, sweet. All right. So, no. Oh, fucking hell. Glad I got some water here too. All right, so,
By the way, Jake
again?
Hartman in the chat says intersex people still fall into the binary, and that's technically true. If they have a Y chromosome, they're a male. If they don't, but like I said, I don't want to argue it. But if it all just depends on whether or not they have a Y chromosome.
You just want to throw out a point and not argue. So if the binary is whether or not someone has a Y chromosome, then that's different to what you said before, and I think that's different to what you said in the debate.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not. Okay, so now. Okay. Okay.
That's how you scientifically classify a person's sex is the presence of a Y chromosome.
Okay. All right. Well, let's 6 classifications
But like I said,
Sorry.
look, I'm still giving you the point, man. I don't want to argue this.
Oh, you don't want to argue
No,
that?
no.
Okay.
I just wanted to say
Weird.
that for people, the benefit of anybody watching this to know that I don't actually like.
Yeah.
I'm not actually like conceding
So you
that
want
there
it?
isn't
So
a
you
binary, but
hang on.
I'm just doing
So
it to save
you're
myself
arguing
a
it both ways there, man.
I
You're trying to
am.
say
I
that you
am.
can.
But I'm giving you the
okay.
point on the scoreboard.
So now it's disingenuous.
No, I'm giving you the point on the scoreboard, dude. That's all
give
that
me the
really
point on the
matters.
scoreboard, but then you want to throw out something, so you think you're right. Yeah, nah. Okay, sure. I mean, are we arguing that point or not? Like,
we're not.
Which one is it?
We're not.
Okay, cool.
So,
right,
do you agree that it's really shockingly stupid to claim that the police don't ascribe motives to killers?
I absolutely agree that police ascribe motives to killers. Yes.
Right. So that's a point for me. So it's 2-1. So it's your turn.
Sure. What else did you say in there? We're casting it back. So is that how it's going to go? 1 for 1. Sorry, I'm half cut now. Fucking hell. All right. So no, you keep going. Keep going.
It doesn't bother you that he would say something that profoundly stupid. You don't question his entire like understanding of the.
So now we're back to discussing this debate from the broader perspectives again.
No. This is specifically the police prosecutor point. Specifically that.
Yeah, for sure. And like everyone, and I think I said this yesterday, like everyone says incorrect things occasionally.
I don't.
Oh, you don't? I mean,
no.
You just said before that you do.
Yeah, but only so I don't have to argue it.
You don't have to argue that one. So when you're wrong on something, you don't have to
I'm
go there.
I'm not wrong.
Doesn't matter. You're not wrong. So are we discussing that or not? Because you keep saying you're going to give me the point because you don't want to have that discussion, but then you keep going, no, actually I'm correct, but we're not discussing it. Like, yeah, this is why I asked you to pick. Are you actually okay with accepting that you're wrong there or not? Like,
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. Okay, so we're talking about sex and gender again. That's cool. Okay.
You want me to give you the same Nature article that I gave Vosh during the debate?
So you got a Nature article? Yeah, sure. No worries.
I put it in the private chat.
Is that on this StreamYard thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I'll pull it up on screen here too.
Genetic mechanisms. All right. So sex chromosome, sex determinism. When was this published?
So the first line of this says that in placental mammals, the presence of Y chromosomes determines sex.
Yep.
So you either have a Y or you don't. That is a binary. Can we agree to that?
I'm reading. Hang on. This is in fruit flies.
No, this is in mammals. We're looking at the part referring to mammals.
Whether an animal will become a male, a female, or a hermaphrodite is determined by very early development. Scientists have worked for hundreds of years to understand sex determination systems. Aristotle proposed that the heat of a male partner, that doesn't matter. Female coldness, blah, blah, blah. Environmental theories of sex determinism, such as Aristotle's, were popular. Turns out Aristotle was onto something. Sex determinism results in the development of individuals with characteristics that allow them to be classified as males, females, or in some cases, hermaphrodites. That doesn't agree with you.
So
it literally says males, females, or hermaphrodites.
Right. Read the first line. The presence of a Y chromosome determines sex.
The first line is whether an animal will become a male, a female, or a hermaphrodite.
No, read the first line of sex determination in mammals.
Sex determination in mammals. All right. In placental mammals. Yeah, sorry. That's why I said this is about fruit flies. Okay, cool. So in placental mammals, the presence of a Y chromosome determines sex. Cool. Normally, cells from females contain 2 X or Y chromosomes, and cells from males contain an X or Y. Normally, occasionally, individuals are born with sex chromosome, I can't pronounce that word, and the sex of these individuals is always determined by the absence or presence of a Y chromosome.
Right.
Humans are
So
available to tolerate.
you either have a Y chromosome or you don't, and that's what determines your sex. And this is from nature.com, a highly reputable. Sure. Okay.
According to this, do you want me to get you something that says that sex is not a binary? Like,
not particularly.
You don't want me to. Okay, so you can provide sources, but I can't. Okay.
Well, no, I will grant that you can provide me sources that will say that sex isn't a binary.
But
right?
You're not going to accept them because they're cucked and Jewish.
Well, no, it's a question of like how pedantic, again, do you want to be about the definition of sex? So there's people who have chosen to loosen the definition of sex, and that's how they make those determinations. But strictly, if you want to be strictly speaking, the only thing that matters.
Strictly speaking, according to you, though, like that's a subjective position that you're arguing right now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you can call it subjective if you want, but at that point, there's no point in arguing it anymore because we're here to determine objective truth. So there's no point in us arguing about something subjective.
Well, that is very convenient for you.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think that you can objectively prove that sex is not a binary. So this is why I didn't want to argue it, because I understand that there's a level of subjectivity here.
Okay, so there's subjectivity there. Okay, cool. All right.
Right. It would be like if we wanted to argue about what racism is and whether or not you can be racist. And it's like, how do you determine that empirically when they change the dictionary definition? It comes down to what definition you want to use, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree.
There are certain things that are very difficult to pin down objectively.
I guess I'm just really interested in the fact that subjectivity is okay when it suits your position.
It's not that it's okay, it's that it's unavoidable sometimes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But
right. Whereas whether or not there are statistics that like exist on the FBI, or whether or not the police ascribe motives, these are not subjective. These are objectively wrong things to say. That's my whole point to you.
Yep. Cool. What's your next one?
Right. As long as we agree that I'm never wrong, we can move on to the next one.
Sure, we can agree to that. That's
Claim 3.
Shoot.
There is no direct or consistent research suggesting trans individuals have an athletic advantage at any stage of their transition.
At the time, I believe that was actually the case.
No, it wasn't, because in the meta study that he provided.
One moment. Say that again. I just want to make sure that I've got this really clear in my mind. Sorry. Yeah.
The quote or the...
Yeah, the quote. Sorry. Yeah.
So I'll just, to be clear, this was him quoting from the conclusion of the study that he gave me.
Yeah.
So this is him quoting the conclusion they wrote in that meta-analysis. And what they said was, there is no direct or consistent research suggesting trans individuals have an athletic advantage at any stage of their transition.
Right. So Vosh was reading from that paper, and so his claim is that paper says that thing. Yep. Okay.
Right.
Does it say that thing?
The paper says that thing, but what it says is objectively false.
Okay, so you're arguing against the paper, not against Vosh in this instance. That's cool. No worries. Yep.
No, it is Vosh, because that was his evidence that he provided. So if I come to you, let's say I find a paper that says the sky is orange, and I come to you and I'm like, look, this paper says the sky is orange. The paper is wrong, and I'm also wrong because I'm using the paper
proxy. But if the claim is
wrong
the
because I'm arguing that the sky is orange. right?
Yeah. I
So
agree.
if I'm arguing that the sky is orange, I'm wrong, regardless of what I'm using to prove that argument.
I'm just being pedantic as well. In this case, Vosh did say that the paper said this, not like Vosh did say that the paper said that, and that is true. But you're saying that the paper might be not, that the paper might be incorrect. So there was no evidence of athletic performance. Is that correct? Was that the thing? I just want to athletic performance or athletic advantage. What was it?
There is no direct or consistent research suggesting trans individuals have an athletic advantage at any stage of their transition.
Yeah. And look, and I actually think that is actually probably true. Like, I'm aware it's interesting that that's come up because it's actually sort of tangentially related to my master's degree. Vaguely. But yeah, so my understanding, so there's actually been a bit of recent data come out saying that, trans women do actually retain a lot of their muscle mass and that sort of thing, which is a fair point to make. But at the same time, there's not, to my knowledge anyway, any actual evidence of at the performance level. And I get that it makes a lot of sense to sort of go, okay, if they've got, bigger cross sections and of muscle rather, and they've got better aerobic performance, that it should lead to better performance, but that data isn't actually there yet. So you're going to take the position that if we measure their muscles and find that they have more muscle, that doesn't translate into an athletic advantage. Not necessarily, no. That's how science works.
That's the hill you're going to die on for this.
But that's actually how science works. Like, you need to be far more deductive in science. Like, that's how it goes.
You're just as weaselly as Vosh, man. You're just as pathetic and weak and in denial as Vosh is.
Okay. I mean, if we're just going to sit here and trade insults, that's fine. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry that's how science works. Like, that's just the truth. I mean, if you've got performance data, let's see it. I mean, I'd love to see it.
So the way science works is that muscles don't translate into.
That's not science.
For the record, there is performance data, but the performance data that I'm aware of, came out after the debate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually,
but before the debate, there was data that said that they have more muscle mass, not just more muscle mass than women, but more muscle mass than trans men. So a trans man, which is a woman who you give steroids to, right? Still has less muscle than a man that you give estrogen or whatever to turn them into a woman. Yeah. So trans women aren't just stronger than cis women, they're stronger than trans men. In other words, they're stronger than cis women who took steroids for a year. And your position is that muscle mass doesn't translate into an athletic advantage. That's your position.
Sorry that you would have needed data to make that point. I mean, it's quite possible that it would. I said that.
Do you think there might be a chance? Do you think there might be a little bit of a chance that the muscles would translate into an athletic advantage? That's awful.
I do think that there's a chance. I do think there's a chance. Thank you. That is awfully generous of me. But again, because there may be confounding factors that you're not aware of. Again, this is how it works. Like, what's an example from my work that I can think of? Like, we've often got, we can take the position, like in the things that I study, that, okay, you might have like a higher indigenous suicide rate where people sort of grow up in areas that are poor. All right. That would make sense. If you're poor, you're more likely to have a mental illness. You're more likely to, struggle with life. You're more likely to be under pressure. You're more likely to kill yourself. But I can't just make that claim. I've got to actually prove it. Right. That's how the peer-reviewed literature works.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, you're talking about objective. It's not ridiculous. You're talking about objectivity.
It is ridiculous. This is such a pathetic,
you're talking about objectivity. You're talking about objectivity, but then you don't want to ascribe to it yourself when the crunch comes.
No, I objectively believe that.
I know you objectively believe that, but we're not here to talk about what you objectively believe or feel.
Fucking Christ. Listen, like whatever. While we're on this topic, though, I just want to point something else out, which is that
Okay, is this a okay? Cool. Yeah.
while we're on the trans athlete topic and the fact that the performance data has since come out.
Okay.
When I was talking to Bosch, I asked him if he wanted to predict whether or not he thought that data would come out, and he refused to make that prediction, other than saying that it was possible.
Okay.
Whereas I said,
I mean,
think
that's totally reasonable, though. It's totally reasonable to say it's possible.
Right, but I said it will.
That just makes sense.
No, it's more reasonable to say that it obviously will because they're obviously stronger.
It's no one else's fault. Like that, you are willing to, I reject reality and substitute my own. I don't. No,
but when I'm proven right, that's not rejecting reality. When I'm proven right.
Oh, right, yeah, because you reckon you got that performance data. Yeah. I mean, okay, cool, good for you.
Right, that's being able to recognize and acknowledge reality, which anybody can do.
No, it's you waving a victory flag because your prediction was correct, whereas Vosh was actually doing the right thing, according to you, by saying that's possible, but I'm not going to make a prediction because that's not how science works.
Right,
that's actually correct.
And again, you think
brother, I just found your video on Vosh's. Oh no, man! I just found your video on Vosh's paper, and this is just shitloads of butt shots, man. I get why this topic matters to you now. This is just, women's sports is just a chance for a perv for you, isn't it? Wow. And you're just really worried that you're going to get trapped. Shit, bro. Okay, cool. Now I know why I know why it matters. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So again, my prediction came true. You still want I lost the debate.
Sorry. Sorry, you cut out there a bit then.
So just to for clarity here, for context, we both have the chance to make the prediction. I make my prediction. Vosh refuses to make a prediction. My prediction comes true. And again, that doesn't influence your view on who won the debate.
No, because as we said at the start, the person who wins the debate is the person who makes the points on the day. Despite the fact that you said that you didn't want to make your points.
Right. But rational people who are listening to that, to some guy try to argue that men are not stronger than women or that strength doesn't provide a performance advantage, they don't see that as winning on the day. You get that part, right?
Again, you need data to back up your
point. No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, you do need data. That's how this works.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes.
Only a disingenuous weasel who's trying to deny reality would claim that you need data on something like that.
I mean, only disingenuous weasels who are trying to deny reality go back to pedantism when it suits them. But
it's not denying reality when you're proven correct. Do you not get that part?
When you're proven correct, sure. I mean, I haven't seen that research. I'll just take your word for it. We'll just put that one aside. But as I'll keep going back to the point, I mean, you're trying to take this off of my point. I don't know why, but my point again is that given the current information at the time, as you described it, it makes total sense to say, yes, your prediction is possible, but I'm not going to say that you're correct because we don't know because we don't have the numbers yet.
Right.
That is a correct
thing
to do.
Any rational person who understands how athletic performance works can make that conjecture easily.
Yes, but it is conjecture.
It's obvious. It's obvious conjecture. It's like looking at a giant boulder and a pebble and guessing which one is heavier without weighing it. You understand?
Well, it's not quite that simple because there are far more confounding factors. Like human beings and their athletic performance is way more complicated than looking at a rock. And I think that might be really where the problem lies here, is that you don't appreciate the complexities involved.
What complexities are you talking about?
What complexities? The complexity of the human body. This is one of the most complex things we've ever studied. The human body is insanely complicated.
How do those complexities translate into trans women not having? You know what? Forget it.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's not going well for you, is it? Let's forget it. Let's keep going.
It's not going well for me.
No, it's not. No. because the human the human body is complex. You don't like at the end of the day, you didn't have at the time data on performance.
Well, no, hang on. You want to get pedantic, buddy? Let's get
pedantic.
Let's get really fucking pedantic, huh? Let's get really fucking pedantic. What does the word
really fucking pedantic?
What does the word suggest mean? Does something have to be proven in order for it to be suggested?
Does something have to be proven in order for it to be suggested? No.
Right. So let me read to you the statement again. There is no direct or consistent research suggesting trans individuals have an athletic advantage at any stage of their transition. So if I have research that shows that trans women have more muscle mass than cis women, does that not suggest an athletic performance advantage?
It suggests that it could, absolutely. But again,
okay,
I mean,
so we agree.
You
then.
win
we agree
in the
that's a point for me. Thank you.
No, you win in the realm of pedantry. I mean, we established that a while ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely win in the realm of pedantry in this case.
Yeah, so I'm glad we could agree that men are stronger than women after all that pedanticism. I'm glad my pedantic
that was the point we were
got us to men are stronger than
we definitely
women.
weren't arguing about performance of trans women in athletics. We're definitely arguing whether men are stronger than women. You're crushing it, mate. You really are. Keep going.
All right, claim 4.
Ah, sweet. We're getting to the end.
It's not censorship if a WordPress blog bans you and deletes your blog.
Guess it depends. Well, again, unfortunately for you, you're going to have to deal with some subjectivity again, because I guess it depends on what you mean by censorship, doesn't it? Nope, you cut out again. Sorry, you cut out again then.
Not really, because there's only like one definition of censorship.
Hang on. Yeah, so I think what you said at the end there was there's only one definition of censorship. Oh, man, what the hell? I hope this isn't my internet again. It probably is.
I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just heard you say you can hear me fine. So I think the point was, so you said that there's only one definition of censorship. But I mean, I guess a lot of people would, well, I mean, I know a lot of people would only really sort of count censorship when it's done by a state. Like you're not, you're censored on WordPress.
So that's what Vosh said too. And that's just objectively wrong.
I got to be honest. Like, I don't really care that you, like, it was you that got deleted on WordPress, was it? I guess. I don't really give a shit, man. Honestly. Like,
the topic.
Huh?
Whether or not you.
Fucking hell. What's going on with this mic? Jesus Christ, man. Sorry, say that again. They cut out again. This is, sorry.
The question is not whether you care. Is whether censorship.
Okay, so I think I heard the question isn't whether or not I care, it's whether it's censorship. Is that right?
Yes, it's not a question of whether or not you care.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but it is to me though. I don't know what to say to that, man, honestly. Like, yeah, again, I mean, when I think of censorship, when I'm going to give a shit about censorship, it's censorship when a state is doing it.
But it's still censorship whether or not you give a shit about it. Surely you recognize that.
Again, maybe depending on your definition, I guess.
No, not depending on every definition that exists. There's no definition of censorship that says it has to be done by the government.
Yeah, yeah, sure, whatever.
Right, so this isn't difficult. So you agree that it's objectively false if you claim that it's not censorship when you get the internet.
Fucking hell, this mic thing, man, honestly. Sorry, just cut out again. Yeah. Again, like, I guess at this point I'm just kind of a bit like, it's just, so boring to me though. Like I mean, yeah, I mean you're probably objectively right on a dictionary definition. I just don't really mind. Like
Transness relevant to the conversation, and these exist.
The conversation of Jessica
also,
and Eve.
Yes,
You're
yes,
moving goalposts
yes,
again.
Jessica Yaniv, yes.
No,
So
in terms
so
of
Jessica-
prescriptive decisions
listen,
about the rest of society,
So Jessica
no.
Yaniv is a predator who, first of all, had a bunch of people who tried to expose their predatory sense of the internet. Okay,
This is
so the first
roboting
person
like
who
fucking
exposed Yaniv back in August of 2018 was a radfem blog called gendertrender.wordpress.com. That was the person who published all of the screenshots and everything that you've all seen now, all of the leaked text messages and DMs and that from Yaniv. They, within like 4 days of posting their blog, and they had a really big following on that blog, by the way, they got deleted off of WordPress.com because Yaniv filed complaint.
That's not censorship. That's somebody filing a report. It seems like Gender Trender was an aggressively transphobic blog. I'm fine with them taking down.
Okay, but
If you want to criticize Jessica and Eve's predatory behavior, you should do it while not being a bigot.
Right, listen. So Yaniv answered the person exposing their predatory behavior by claiming trans.
That's not what censorship is. Censorship is by like a broad state agent. One person filing a report is not censorship.
So their WordPress.com deleting their blog is not censorship. Should we look up
following through on a report? Also, yeah, Gender Trender seems like they were legitimately transphobic. I'm totally.
Did you get that?
I got most of it, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I was roboting pretty badly in and out. But yeah, I mean, again, like, you know, it does depend on which sphere you're operating. Like when it comes to sociology, which, you know, is my area of study too. Yeah, we only look at censorship from the point of like, if a group, you know, like, for example, a state, like a power holder, is clamping down on free speech, then we consider that censorship. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that fits that definition, but if you're working with a different one, that's fine. You know,
so
again,
listen,
like I just keep coming back to the fact that, you know, one of them matters, the other one doesn't. And I'm not like, I guess I'm not really sure why you're so concerned though. Like, I mean, okay, so you've got these 4 points.
To claim that it's not censorship if it's not done by a state agent is objectively wrong.
Okay, sure.
Well, you at the start of this, you told me to care about the truth. Now you're acting.
But that's your truth. I mean, I'm just saying objectively sure because I'm just fucking sick of, you know, arguing for my definition. I mean, that's, again, like, I'll go back to the point I was making. I honestly think that my definition is the one that makes sense and the one that matters because, you know, if a state is clamping down on the right of people to say certain things, then that might be something we want to pay attention to. But if all it is just someone's blog getting deleted, who gives a fuck, really? I mean, go to another blog. Who gives a shit?
I mean, I give a shit, but I'm not going to argue about that because that's not the point of that's not the topic of the debate.
I mean, I know. You just want to get back to this boring pedantry shit that means nothing, and that's how you're going to get your little win. That's, you know, and that's, you know, and that's why I just said, like, yeah, sure. Because, I mean, yeah, like I said, you just keep going back to this same boring, pointless stuff. And I just, yeah, I don't get why you do, man. I mean, I'm trying to be charitable.
I don't get why you don't care about like things being accurate or like the guy you're rooting for saying all this shit that's
I'm not
stupid
rooting
and wrong.
for anyone, mate. I told you yesterday.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
Yes, it is. Because you told me you like.
Tell me how it's a lie.
Because you told me you like to see chuds get dunked on or whatever.
I said I like to see alt-righters get dunked on.
Right. So you're rooting for Vosh in that situation, right?
I'm rooting for him.
So you have a bias, which makes you're already going into it hoping that I'm going to get crushed. And it makes you just ignore all the stupid shit that comes out of Vosh's mouth. That's my point. That's why I care.
Okay. So are you claiming that you don't have a bias?
I care about the truth. So my mission is a dogged pursuit of the truth.
So you're an unbiased truth seeker.
That's right. I'm a radical
Yeah,
centrist.
right.
That's what radical centrism is. It's no bias.
I mean, look, dude. I mean that's a position that hasn't been landing for years. I mean, you can keep going down that path if you like. I'm not impressed. Obviously, some people are. You've still got an audience, and that's disappointing. But there's not much I can do about it. I mean, you want to sit there and tell me that you're not biased when, like most of your arguments with people have been about, basically you trying to find room to hate on Islam, hate on trans people. I'm sure there's other examples out there. Like, you are clearly a biased operator too. It's just
you're just projecting onto me because you're a moral narcissist. It makes you feel good to think that I'm hateful. And
get it out, man.
It helps you compensate for your lack of self-respect to paint me as this like hateful bigot who goes around just trying to like hate on everyone. Makes you feel better about yourself and compensate for your own lack of self-respect.
Absolutely. And you're right. You're not a bigot when you like insist on calling trans women men. Like, that's not bigoted at all.
No, it's not.
100%.
Radical centrism is the pursuit of the truth, regardless of whether or not that truth is offensive. That's the thing.
I mean,
it's pursuing the truth regardless of whether or not people are offended.
You can't even handle a level of subjectivity. You can't even understand that the truth isn't always black and white, mate. Like, you're not pursuing the truth. You're pursuing your own ends.
How am I not pursuing the truth?
I literally just told you.
Because I acknowledge the fact that transgendered women are biologically male. That's how I'm dodging the truth. The real truth is that they're not biologically male. Is that your position?
I said before, I said before, and I'll say it again. You insist on calling trans women men, and you agreed to that point.
I don't insist. I don't always. I use female pronouns sometimes for transgender. It depends on the context.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the context.
So if I'm having you to be a bigot.
What? That's not bigoted. Like I said, it depends on the context of the conversation.
Not using pronouns is absolutely bigotry. Not using preferred pronouns. It's absolutely no, it doesn't. That's that's probably the most objective thing we've said today. Like, like if you don't use someone's preferred pronouns, you are being a bigot. A bigot. That is the closest we've come to an objective truth today.
No, I totally disagree with that.
Oh, okay. So subjectivity works when it's in your
somebody else's compelled speech is not bigotry. It's not bigotry.
Oh, okay, so yeah, Bill 16ing again. Yeah. Oh man, you guys need some fresher memes. Fuck. Okay, so all right, so I guess all in all, I guess I could summarize this, and I know you're going to disagree, but that's cool. So you've got 4 points where pedantry may be a savior on 4 points, but in the broader overall context.
Oh, so hold on. Is it pedantic to say that the police ascribe motives to criminals?
You described yourself as pedantic, not me. So
right, but you're saying that all 4 of my points are pedantic.
But in the broader overall context of that debate with Vosh, you absolutely lost.
Right. Not only did I not make continuous false statements like Vosh, but I also made accurate predictions that he refused to make.
Sure, we've covered all that.
And by the way, in terms of
really wanted to talk about.
In terms of the terrorism conversation, let's talk about the predictive power of that conversation for a minute. In the year 2020, was there more white nationalist terror attacks, or was there more Islamic terror attacks in America?
In America, let's have a look. Do you have a source on that?
You're just going to Google it up? Well, I know the answer. Do you know the answer?
Do you want to send me your source and I'll have a look?
It would be multiple sources. I'm asking you.
Send me your multiple sources.
No, I'm asking you what you know about it, right?
And as I said yesterday, I'm not actually that focused on the US example. I'm focused on my own country. And I know that upsets you because you want to talk about the US because you got a boner for it. But, again, as a reasonable person does, I want to see numbers before I make a position, before I hold a position. I know you want to make predictions and you'd love it if we all just substituted our feelings for numbers, but I want to see those numbers first, and I want to decide if I think they're actually like credible.
So you can't name any white nationalist terror attacks in 2020 or any Islamic terror attacks, right?
Dude, why are you obfuscating that? If you've got a source,
no, I'm not
this,
obfuscating. I'm just reiterating my kind of original point, which is that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I
man.
literally just said I'm not focused on the American example. I'm focused on my own country mostly. If you have a source, send it to me. Why don't you want to send me that source? That's really weird.
Well, it's multiple sources, isn't it?
Yeah. And I said, send me all your sources. That's
no,
fine.
I'm
That's
not.
cool.
I'm not going to. I just
You're
wanted
not
to...
going to now. So when, so you just want to make claims, not provide the source, and then just substitute that for the truth.
Yeah, well, I know the claim
And
is
it's
right,
me.
but you're not
You know
equipped
it's-
to have this conversation, dude. Like you're
I'm not
just out to
equipped.
lunch.
I'm
What's
not
the point
I'm
of
not-
what's the point of arguing with you about it if you don't have a position in the first place?
You brought
You know
that
what I mean?
up. You brought that up
because it's
you
about the
want to
predictive
argue
power
that.
of the conversation about terrorism, but you don't have a position because you don't know what's going on in the world.
I don't know what's going on specifically in the US. I'm much more focused on my own country. Terribly sorry about that. Now I'm doubly sorry that you won't back up your claim, which makes me think that maybe you are wrong.
I didn't even make
That's
a
pretty
claim.
weak.
I just asked you if you knew how many there was.
You said you knew the answer.
I do know the answer. Yes, I do. I will make that
Send me
claim.
the source then.
No, fuck you.
No, you won't. This is so weak, man. Honestly.
Fuck off.